know any moment it's going to really take off. Okay, not what I expected, but that'll do. Hey, good morning. FBTV Radio. We're live. You want to participate, go to our website, FBTV Insider, or even the Freight Broker TV website, freightbrokertv.com. Yeah, go to the live radio page, and there's a chat room there. You can participate. Ask your questions, make comments, whatever you'd like to do. Obviously, if we don't get to your question today, promise you we'll get there next week. Okay, be the first thing on the list. All right, it is Friday, January 24th. Like I said, we kicked off the program. Well, let me back up a little bit. That morning coffee, yeah, you can catch that every morning. It's, your favorite podcast app, FBTV Morning Coffee. That's what you're looking for. And it shows up about 6 a.m. That's when it's published, every morning, 6 a.m. So when you're sitting there having your first cup of coffee, let's talk. Let's talk about something. All right, now, what else? Okay, something that's been on my mind. And it stays on my mind pretty regular because, I'm a consultant for Tautoa. And my whole goal with every client is to make them a successful, or assist with them. I can't make anybody do anything, but assist them in becoming a successful freight broker agent. In other words, successful, what's successful? Everybody's got a different interpretation of that. Tell you a quick story. Several years ago, I had a client. They came to town. They were here for a whole week, going through the live in-person training part of their package. They went home. Barely heard from them during their consulting period. A year went by, the phone rang, answered the phone, and it was this fella that had been here a year before. I thought he had long gone. You know, some of our clients, once they're consulting, they're training, they're consulting, they've moved on with their lives, you know, be it start their own brokerage or to become an agent for somebody else. Either way, you know, just they move on. You know, we don't hear from them anymore. And that's fine. That's understandable. We get it. You know, we don't know what they're doing with their life, if they gave up or if they went on become really successful. But then out of the blue sometimes, we'll get a call or an email and, hey, how you doing? Remember me? Kind of thing. And it's the same with this fella. He called, it was a little over a year later. Hey, remember me? And we started talking, and I go, you still in the business? Yeah, man, I haven't got out of it. You know, I've got my business built up. I go, great. Well, how much you doing in nets every week? You know, but how much you doing in nets? He goes, man, I'm doing between $900 and $1,000 in load net every week. And I about fell on the floor because I just knew he was going to say something like, you know, he's doing $5,000, $10,000, $6,000 a week in net. Now, net, for those of you unfamiliar, when it comes to freight brokering, the load net, that's the difference between what the shipper agreed to pay you to move the load and what you agreed to pay the truck. Load net. That's where you're making your money from, that load net. Be it a broker or a broker agent, it comes out of that load net. So when he told me he was only doing $900 to $1,000 a month in net, oh, I was so disappointed because I was expecting big numbers. I said, man, what's wrong? Why? He goes, no, nothing's wrong. I'm doing exactly what I want to do. I'm making enough money to pay my bills, live on, and be very, very comfortable. He goes, what I'm doing, hey, I'll start my work week every Monday morning. If I make my money on Monday, I take off the rest of the week. If it takes me all week to get there, I work all week. But when I hit that $1,000, that $900 to $1,000, because he said he's wanting to pay himself $500 a week to do that, he's going to have between $1,000 a week on a 60% contract. If you're an agent, that's $600. Okay, 900 would be 540. You get the idea. Simple math. 60% of that number. So that's his deal. When he's made his $500 that he wants to pay himself every week, he shuts down. I do not recommend anyone do that. But it worked for him. It works for him. That's what I'm getting at. We don't hear from people generally, but when we do, we hear from them. But again, my job is to get people to where they have the ability. They know how to get out there and build their business up and do what they need to do. Part of this is the need to be professional. If you're going to be a broker agent, you really need that professionalism. Now, what do I mean by professionalism? Well, first of all, you need the right tools. The tools for working as a freight broker will obviously be a telephone, internet access, a computer or computer device, a printer, and it's a pretty good idea to have a flatbed scanner. But if you got a printer, you may already have that ability. Because sometimes you're going to have to scan documents. I cannot tell you the number of times, and this is something else. If you're a truck driver too, you need to know this too. I mean, this pertains to you. These phone scanners, there's these apps that you can download for your phones that will allow you to scan a document, then convert it to a PDF. That is so unprofessional. That is just in case of an emergency. Use those. Don't use them for your business. It's awful. They are terrible. Matter of fact, in the mentorship program, obviously the clients entering the mentorship program, they got to fill out their documentation, fax it back to us because they're becoming broker agents. They are starting to enter the real world of becoming an operational broker through the mentorship program that Tauto offers. Their documents, they have to look good. It has to be professional. And I can't tell you the number of times people use these phone scanners. And the page comes back, and sometimes it's so bad you can't even make out the words on it. It's just squiggly. It looks like somebody took it, and it's just awful, if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't have a flatbed scanner, spend a couple of bucks. You may already have one. Matter of fact, I always tell people, hey, if you're buying a printer, get a laser printer. If you got to get a printer, get a laser printer. Toner is a lot cheaper than an ink cartridge. You can get a really nice printer, copier, scanner combination I've seen them for a couple $100. I mean, and they'll last for a long time. Toner, nice thing about toner, yeah, at first when you go to buy one, it might be $75 for a replacement toner cartridge. But you'll get 5,000 pages out of it. One of those little ink cartridges, you're lucky to get 300. So think about that. Black and white, you don't need color. Just up to you, whatever you want to do. But professionalism, I want to talk a little bit about that today because professionalism, that is so important. One other thing, too, if you're going to be in business with your email, set up your signature for your email address. It should be your full name and your phone number. So any email you send out, be it a reply, be it a new email, it's got your name and phone number on it. I mean, that's just professional. That's the way it should be set up. Okay. All right. What else? Yeah, I get off on my little tidbits there. Now, we had a reason I was on my mind today was simply because had some forms come in yesterday, and you could tell they used a phone scanner. And they're just not acceptable. It's just so unprofessional. To be honest, yeah, we could probably accept them for the mentorship program. But by accepting those kind of documents that look that way, that's kind of saying, yeah, we accept that unprofessionalism. And we want our clients to have every opportunity they can, to be successful. That's important. Hey, 1 week from today, if you haven't registered, you want to make sure you get this done now. Register now. It's the FBTV free webinar. You're going to do 3 of them next week, 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m. Register for the one that's scheduled correctly for you. That's why we've got it going on 3 times next week, 11, 2, and 7. Those times are all central. Okay, so register for the one that best fits your schedule. Only register for one. You don't need to register for all 3 because it's going to be the same topic for each webinar. Those topics, obviously, the transportation industry, specifically working as a freight broker. Yes, we are going to be talking about the difference between a freight broker and a freight broker agent, how you can get started, what to expect, the pay. And we're going to be talking about a number of other things as well. You've got to register because only 25 people will be allowed per webinar to attend. So get registered. To register, go to freightbrokertv.com. You'll see the links all over the place. Click on the link. You can get registered. Choose the time you want to attend. And don't worry about it. Don't be sitting there thinking, well, I'll never remember this. We'll let you know. We'll remind you. System set up to send you out an email like the day before, the day of, the morning of, and I think the 30 minutes before, something like that.